And it's showtime! Back on Minecraft 1.20.1 Fabric featuring Spectrum. Let's try not to make any stupid mistakes like wiping out my entire inventory again. We can start right off by emptying out our smelter, and I've got all this in my inventory, which actually does remind me what I plan to do. The project will be to expand this. So we're going to want a much deeper anvil hole and a good old-fashioned bubble column to get back up from it. Which means I'm also going to need a drop chute so I can get down to anvil level. I think that should do. And we're good on tools. Alright, let's get this underway. This is the least efficient, but honestly easiest way to do this. Even though I'm violating one of the prime rules of Minecraft, don't dig straight down. And I've been punished for my hubris. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's really funny. The game certainly put me in my place on that one, didn't it? Well, foolhardy as it is, we're just gonna keep doing the same thing. So, this creates a challenge. I may need to simply quarry some stone. Because now, rather than drilling down through solid rock as I thought I was going to do, now instead I have to build several tubes. Also, I should probably now do this a block rank back from the stairs. Yeah, we can do that. So to be honest, this is kind of the part where I'm just going to straight up exploit keep inventory and not give a single solitary damn about the gravity problems. Ow. Down with gravity. I no longer care. So I don't know how far down this anvil drop shaft needs to be, but we found out how deep it's going to be right now. This is going to end up being very awkward for a lot of reasons. Namely that I don't think I have enough blocks on me for the full project. Also, there's going to be a lot of crunching. Okay, so that's the cobblestone, so this right here is the block that the anvil is going to fall on. I think. We just bash out this 3x3. And we'll make that assumption. So this should be the anvil landing pad. Meaning back here, on the right, let's say, would be my landing pad. And then on the left here, we'll host the bubble column. This means that I now have to block off this entire area. Which is going to be a lot of very ugly work. And water in that space, so it's a safe landing zone. I'll go ahead and make everything cobblestone just so it all has some visual solidarity. We're going to need a light source. And I've already made a mistake. That's not where the light source can go. I need two sides. Oh well. We'll solve that little mess as we get to it. We'll start by building up this column. This will double as a test of the landing pad. Because how else am I going to get back down? Not like that, because there's blocks in the way. So we're already seeing some problems, and this build is only half-baked. Also, I should make the sign to get into the bucket of water while I'm at it. Convenient. Jungle bugs. Hang on. That actually is a solution to this problem. Let me get these. And the solution is, I think, an ability for armor bouncy. 2 congealed sky slime, 2 congealed slime, and a congealed ichor. Each of these is a 4-stack. Five, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The boots with a double stack of that, the double stack of this, and the stack of that. Bouncy traveler boots. This is something I'd meant to do a long time ago. I'm also going to do this, which is 4, 5, 6, 7 slime balls. And 2 string. This is the upgrade I alluded to yesterday that would have made the overland trip so much easier. For now we don't actually need the sling. That can go in our back pocket. And let's get rid of those death markers. They're just in the way. That's better. Now I can kind of see. And our problem is that this block here, which is going to be our drop chute for us, is blocked. So away we go. Bounce. Yep. Say hello to bouncy traveler's boots. Fall damage is simply no longer a thing. In exchange, you have to put up with bouncing constantly and can no longer use stairs properly. Is it worth it? I guess. Now this will need kind of a roof area. This has to be perfectly vertical, but I also have to make it inaccessible. Oh. And the signs. And those are to block the eventual water column. You can see what I mean about not having enough blocks for this. It's quite a few towers to be going through. Now the power, quote-unquote, of the bouncy boots can be suppressed by holding shift. Since that is also the crouch and sneak button, this makes you move slower, so it's not always desirable to do so. Particularly in the case of the aforementioned stairs don't work anymore. I'm just going to put a torch there. That'll save me some blocks. Put a torch over there. How high does this mess need to go? All the way. And I do not have enough blocks. And I just bounced off the wall. Another problem with bouncy boots. So what do we do now? Well, let's look for iron by quarrying. And this will also help us out by improving our cobblestone stocks, which honestly is one of those things that you never expect to run out of. But Minecraft is a funny world sometimes. So we're just basically picking a random direction and drilling on through. Is it solid stone? That's good. Is there ore in the way? That would be good too, but I'm not really holding my hopes out for it. The purpose of this exercise is to collect as much cobble as possible. And of course, the minute I say that, it switches to andesite and gives me copper. Game, why must you hate me so? Still, 3 stacks of cobble is pretty good for just going out there on a limb. We'll hippity hop and bounce all over the place. Get used to that sound, by the way. That's here to stay. Alright, this is the final block footprint of our anvil drop shaft nonsense. All these cobblestone columns have to go all the way up. And then we'll have to play chicken with the drowning effect. To get the bubble column built. that's it. This is the anvil drop shaft. This is the me drop shaft that lands in water safely. And this is going to be the bubble column to get back up again. All of these cobblestone pillars need to be extended all the way back up to meet with our base up here. And I would like to close this corner too, but that may not be possible. Who am I kidding? Of course it's possible. Bouncy shoes, go! You can kind of cut the nose off. See, I was beginning to say earlier that holding shift cancels the bouncy property of the shoes. Hang on a sec, that's lapis. The problem with canceling the bouncy property of the shoes is the bouncy property of the shoes is what prevents you from taking fall damage. Therefore, you are kind of beholden to the nonsense of Minecraft bounce physics, because you're wearing slime on your feet. And you bounce, as you saw, really, really high. And then you kind of have to wait for your bouncing to slow down before you can come back to Earth and do things again. There is a way around this. And that is as simple as holding jump. Rather counterintuitively, if you hold jump as you're bouncing, it limits the height of your bounce to the height that you can jump. I found this out relatively recently, in fact. And then once you've bounced to roughly the max height of a jump, you can then freely go ahead and hold shift to cancel the bouncing property. And then you land pretty as you please without taking any fall damage. Alright, this will be a good time to actually test the drop chute. So take off the bouncy boots, and then see if we die. Hooray! All is well. Now this is going to be water pouring down from above. This, and I could lower this down. That's the only way out at the moment. We need more cobblestone. Which is again, and always will be, a bizarre thing to say. Let's come back here into the de facto quarry and just start smashing some more random stone. Doesn't matter where we go, we're not looking for anything in particular. It's all about the sheer volume of cobble that we can smash on the walls. Hey look, iron. That will surely help us in our quest. I'll come back for it. The focus, again, is on the cobblestone. I have my little mental patterns for maximizing torch use, and are they perfect? I don't know. Do I use them anyway? Absolutely. Now we have more copper and more iron. I don't really care about copper. At least I don't think so. It doesn't seem to be very useful for very much. Aside from decoration, and let's face it, I live in a hole. Decoration is not exactly one of my priorities. But it's a metal, it can be used for tools, it has decent tool-based properties. It's not entirely worthless, just mostly. And now, let me get the slime sling, and this will get us out of here. So to find a good angle and wall, and let me go. Boing. Very useful device. Now we'll finish the end cobbling. It turns out I'm going to need at least one more stone slab. The bucket of water goes here on the left side. That'll flow all the way down. And this I don't want to accidentally fall into. So what we're going to do about that is take this spare slab and do that. So we can't just, I mean, we could crouch under it, that'd be dumb. But we can't just walk off that cliff. And now it's time to get 2 handfuls of kelp and try not to drown on the way up. Because this is how you bubble column. Placing these kelp blocks turns the flowing water into water source blocks. And water source blocks become bubble columns. The flowing water doesn't. Let me just break the kelp. And we see the bubbles. Away we go. All that just to make a more efficient anvil drop shaft. Now I have no use for this kelp anymore. It can be composted. I suppose it also goes into the respiration modifier for Tinker-specific helmets. Let's compost everything but a stack. I still don't know why it's spreading out the compressed blocks in stacks of 2. That's very strange to me. And now I have more leftover cobblestone than I can easily carry. Fortunately, the book has already given us a solution to that. We haven't looked at the book since picking up key toxic leads yesterday. Here they are. You crush the strange plant with an anvil, you get the purple powder. It does very unusual things and may cause memory loss. It gives us access to the Curse of the Void enchantment. It tells us nothing further about that because we haven't actually unlocked the enchanter yet. But this is what we're here for. And it involves rabbit hide, so good luck. But this is what I want. It's a barrel that you can carry with you. It has a very deep storage, but only for a single type of item. So I could make one of these for cobble, one of these for dirt, and just have huge amounts in a single inventory slot. Unfortunately, rabbit hide. And then there's this, which is the other thing that I alluded to yesterday that needs to be dealt with. We now understand color mixing in some vague form, and how it maps to the 3 gemstone powders we have. But brown, you kind of have to have like black or something for brown. And then the grayscale colors are just like, what? How do you get those when you only have bright colors? And somehow, colored trees are an answer. There's a colored tree for every color in the Minecraft spectrum. They are made with gemstone powder and dye, and the gemstone powder cost changes depending on the color of the tree. And it also consumes vegetal, that stuff that we picked up yesterday from our ravenous bacteria. So for now, I'm just going to put all of this crap in here. We've got vegetal, we've got saplings. I heard bees. I heard bees moving about. Bees? Bee. I missed it. But that's... Oh no, I didn't miss it. Hey guys. Make me my 8th bee, I believe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8th bee. I only need to breed 1 more to cap out all these hives. And then my honey supply will be whatever I need it to be. Okay, that distraction aside, we were working on we were working on golden melons. And I need more citrine powder for that. Speaking of distractions, I managed to distract myself away from one of yesterday's projects, and there's the problem with bouncy shoes. Let me just get these off for now. They have their uses. But when you don't immediately need them, they are a colossal pain. I don't have any more citrine. Unless I crush these, and I really don't want to do that. So where was the citrine geode? Let me just... there we go. That's better. Anyway, citrine is a geode, usually around surface level. It's not here. I know that's just a hole. Sand, that doesn't help. Where did we leave that citrine geode? I thought there was one relatively nearby. Oh, that's a jungle temple. How did I not see that yet? Uh, hmm. Hmm. Oh, there it is. That's awfully far away. I guess that makes it horse time. And I should probably also get a, yeah, I need to get a marker on that. Alright then, my horsey friends, southwest we go to the citrine geode. Because we definitely need more yellow blocks. Also, definitely don't need this cow. Death to cow. Oh. If I use this bridge... that we built for bee-adjacent purposes, and now no longer need any of, then I can continue along this stretch of land. Oh, hello, giant chasm. And then we get here and have to cross a river anyway. Which looks easily doable, if my horse would just jump. Alright, we're fording. Let's go. Also still need to murder chickens for their feathers. I may want a chicken farm eventually. Also, how have I not gone over there yet? It's just a convenient green slime place. So here's our citrine geode, nice and bright yellow. And I need to take home as much of this as I can get away with. There are a few problems with this thing. First of all, there's the problem with citrine in general, which is that their clusters look so much smaller than every other type of gem. Like, this is a large bud. If this was a large bud of any other gemstone, it would be large. Citrine buds, however, are much smaller, more subdued, and bubbly looking than any other gem type, which makes them difficult to identify at a glance. Fortunately, I don't currently care. I'm just collecting all the blocks so we can anvil crush them. Our brand new, much deeper anvil shaft. And the reason we made the anvil shaft deeper is because anvil crushing, its effectiveness is dependent on the amount of force you can bring to bear. So the farther the anvil falls before impact, the bigger stacks of items it can process in one drop. And there's also the sheer convenience of using a bubble column to get back up, instead of having to go all the way around that mine shaft and using stairs like some kind of peasant. Instead, we have elevator power now, which will be much faster. Adhering to the rule of Minecraft resources, where there are only two quantities that matter, not enough, and I don't have to think about it again, I usually like to keep near the color altar, or whatever they call it, the pigment pedestal. I usually like to keep a chest that's just full of gemstone dust. Just so I can always refill the altar when I need more. Just have the ready supplies sitting there, ready to go. I would automate the insertion of dust into the pigment pedestal, but that doesn't work so well. When the specific slots for gemstone dust fill up, it will then go ahead and insert dust into the crafting room, which is not a desired behavior. Also, we're chewing into my pickaxe's real health bar at this point, which is fine. I have ample slime steel and the resources to make more, so I can always just repair it. We're also approaching Queen Slime, the next tier of slime material, which honestly is worse in a lot of ways. Like, its only real advantage over perfectly ordinary slime steel, and I say perfectly ordinary as though those are words that apply to a substance called slime steel. But Queen Slime as a material improves the Overslime bar, giving the tool more regenerating health to work with. And the price it exacts for this is twofold. First, it has worse stats overall, and second, it consumes some of the tool's actual durability and turns it into Overslime to do this. Honestly, I don't mind that part at all. So what if the tool's total durability is reduced? More of it is now regenerating. The problem I have is that it's a better material and is more difficult to acquire, and aside from the improved durability, makes my tool worse. Whose idea was that? I've got over 3 stacks of this stuff. If that's not enough, the word enough has no meaning. Hopefully my horse hasn't wandered into another time zone. Are my superstitious thing to reset maybe the fortune property? You! Home we go. Racing close to all the chickens to collect their eggs. Start a skeleton fight. Vault the river, like I should have done the first time. Go mostly north, aiming for the bridge. Collecting more eggs as we go, because the chickens are prolific around here. I don't know why my horse stopped like that. I don't know why it does that. Occasionally, a tamed horse will just buck for no reason. I'm not doing anything but holding W and steering. But occasionally the horse is just like, hit the brakes. There you go, and I saw an Enderman. I see a creeper. That's a bigger problem. I'm just going to pretend it isn't. Where is that Enderman? Is he still around here? Yes. You! Come and get me. Which he does with speed and gusto. Oh no. Ow. Did not see that coming. Literally. And that isn't the creeper. That isn't even the creeper I avoided. Ew. Alrighty then. Having to fall just a few blocks downward to secure the third crit is just too much of a delay and allows the creeper to explode. Despite the fact that I've been triple critting creepers pretty much constantly and consistently. Tonight, though, specifically, we lose to 2 creepers in a row. Well, not in a row. I had just killed one. And I didn't even get a pearl for exploding. To anyone confused about my ability to completely fill these creeper holes, I have block destruction from creeper explosions turned off. So when a creeper blows up and makes a crater, it will always drop the exact amount of dirt that it destroyed. and none of those blocks are obliterated. Just a small convenience measure, so I don't have anything ruined. These are growing nicely. It's turning the clay into dirt. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. Doesn't mean it's not weird. And we have lots of bee activity, so I should go breed that last bee before they disappear into their hives. Oh there, bees! This way, everyone, especially that guy in the wrong room. You two can make the 9th bee, and you need to get back in the next room. Shoot. There you go. 9 bees in a very small enclosure, very rapidly filling with honey. It's everything I wanted. Now then, time for anvil games, after I put away all my junk. Seeds, meat and eggs, dirt, grass, can't fit the grass, calcite, basalt. Now I can fit the grass block. And these... How do I have so much more calcite than basalt? It's a problem that I identified was a problem days ago. I prefer basalt for its darker color scheme. But calcite is all I'm going to get. Now what's fun about these blocks is they have practically no uses on their own. I mean, sure, it looks like there is one. I don't know what that is. Oh, I can melt the amethyst. And it goes into Swift Strike, which is honestly a good buff. And then molten amethyst, I can use to tint glass and tinted glass, I suppose, and pour into containers, pour into gems. How about that gem cast? Wasn't I thinking about a gem cast a while back? Yes, actually, because of the diamond horse armor. And then an amethyst gem plus a copper ingot makes amethyst bronze, which, if I remember right, wasn't actually a bad material. So maybe, just in case something turns out to be useful, we'll preserve a half stack of all these. The rest goes down the hole. All of it straight down the hole. We wait. I'll even take out these death markers. Because the thing about having a longer drop hole is that the physics of normal items falling is that they fall at a fixed speed. Anvils accelerate as they fall. So if I didn't wait, it's possible that the anvil could beat the items down there, and they wouldn't smash at all. And then I arrive, collect all the XP for the wonderful smash job. We get 32 each from the topaz and amethyst, and then 48 from the citrine because there were simply more stacks of citrine to be processed. I also kind of want another block here, so I don't step. I mean, it'll never make a difference, but somehow for my own peace of mind, I just want to stop here and collect things, and not step onto the platform. So I'm going to throw all these blocks down again. And our delay will be going to get a single block of cobblestone. Then we send the anvil down. Wait for it to land, and follow suit. Perfect. This is the drop shaft that I wanted. This is what it was all for. I have enough citrine. We could probably smash some more topaz and amethyst. And I want 2 chests. One here for things to smash, and one outside to have spare dust in it. How did I get 2 cobbles? Oh, these 2. I just broke those. Down with the topaz and citrine and amethyst. We place the citrines in this chest. Anvil chaser. Pause. And go see our handiwork. Excellent. The anvil can also go in here, because this is what it'll always be for. Now, for the sake of safety, and the probability of creepers, it might be wise to make this an enclosed indoor space, but I can't do that yet, because I have no idea how big it needs to be. I mean, I have some inkling. I've done this before, but I can't remember exactly the size. And if I make a building and then it has to be bigger than it is, we're going to have a problem. Anyway, top these off. Put the spares away. This is topaz, amethyst, citrine. Topaz, amethyst, citrine in that order. Now we need to get the gold. And once that's done, we need to get the dyes to get ready for trees. We have to make every color of tree that we can. Which is why we've been hoarding flowers. Red, magenta, blue, yellow. Oh yeah, I need to make my cactus machine to get green. First though, flowers go down the hole. Just arbitrary number of flowers, because anvil crushing yields double the dyes that pulling them apart would yield. Down it goes. If we were closer down, we would hear the smack of it landing. And there we go. Tons of dye. Return the anvil, or suffer my curse. So we got the gold. We got the dyes for this. Cactus. Cactus. Oh, I have another stack of this kelp. So we can compost some more. Cactus. How much cactus do I want to make a machine for? I'm thinking 3x3, 3x4. 3x4 should be fine. Redstone, wood, maybe more wood. Probably need more wood. More wood. And let's grab a stack of cobblestone. Split this into. I know, I'm doing 2 projects at once. Actually, more like 3 projects at once. So, first thing, gold in here. That'll make Listerine melon seeds. Make that happen. Cactus machine. Cactus machine can go over here. This is a nice flat area. Unfortunately, it's sundown. I'll have to address that very soon. I'm not expanding this anymore. Cactus machine, cactus machine. 3x4. It'll start here. So this is one theoretical corner. So I'll have a cactus here, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be 3 wide and 4 deep. Could do it the other way though, just as easily. Those are all spots for pistons and sand. Which puts the lever right here. Alright, let's have a nap and then get to building. Also, I've got my glistering melon seeds. Anyway, nap. Nap regardless. It cost, notably, I'll verify that after the nap, half a stack of the citrine powder. Yeah, from 64 to 32. Just to make these 4 glistering melon seeds. Fortunately, citrine is what I have the most of. Alright then, saplings, vegetal. What do I want to do for dyes? Well, first I need 1 of each of these, and then we need to get mixing, and I have to get the cactus machine ready so I can have green and mix further. I think 2 blue is appropriate. We'll just get that going. And now this needs to be a hole. So now by making that first color tree, we have finally revealed, you see the orange and purple in the background? The fake trees that were actually dye trees the whole time weren't telling us. So now as we travel the world, we will occasionally see clusters of colorful trees that previously looked like clusters of normal oak trees that our tooltips warned us were not real. It would help if I made the dozen pistons. Not going to get far without that. Or sand. We're also just going to keep making color trees. I have 12, 24. That's not enough sand. I'll just do that. I don't care about how much. There's our pistons. I don't think 15 redstone dust is enough to do circuitry. That should be. I'm going to need more sand for the cacti, so. Well, 20 should be more than fine. Down you go. Have an anvil. And down we go. Now it's gravel. Not good enough. Do it again. Down goes the 20 gravel. And the anvil. And us. Perfect. Probably should have smashed some of these other flowers while I was at it. Didn't think about that. Why are vines over here? No wonder I'm confused about whether or not I have vines. Why am I still carrying the anvil? This will be a constant question, by the way. I always forget that I'm carrying the anvil. We have blue, red, yellow. I mean, red, yellow, blue. That makes the most sense. I can make a couple magenta, because, hey, I got magenta in pocket. Why not? Why am I hearing a zombie noise so close? Alright, so this will be redstone circuitry. And I need the pistons. Yeah, this is the correct depth. That explains the zombies. Oops. Am I gonna have to go down there and clean house? Not without my other shoes. Not without my other shoes. But I am just not gonna tolerate zombies in my basement. Making all kinds of racket while I'm trying to work. Hey, boys. Oh, there's just a hole that goes straight here. You missed. Also hearing spiders somewhere. Oh wait, I know this hole. Yikes! He didn't actually touch us. This is the hole where we spent our first day or so. We just kind of hunkered down here, pouring stone for our first tools. This is the place. How did I forget where this was so easily? How could I have forgotten where I came from? What is this light down here? Another torch? More torches? Parry the torches? Okay, this is part of our mine shaft. Kind of. For some definitions, a part of. Okay. House has been cleaned. On top of each piston, we get a column of sand. I have slightly not enough sand for this. Also, the squishy boots need to come off. Deposit some things that are taking up space. Also, to note, I'm going to need a dedicated dye chest eventually. Now I just need the redstone to activate every piston. That's probably going to look like this. Get some torches down to light the circuitry. Place blocks where nobody cares about blocks. And then seal up the whole mess. And that's it. Anyone confused by this strange arrangement of blocks? I mean, must not have seen me play before, because I build one of these practically every playthrough. even if I don't have an immediate need for cactus. So what this does, it's, sand blocks that cacti are growing on. Simple enough. Now when the cacti reach 3 high, I can just pull the lever. It drops the sand blocks out from under them, they all break, and I can harvest them freely. Without having to worry about doing so by hand. It's a semi-automatic cactus farm. Very simple. And if I remember right, we were going to do glistering melon instead of 4 of our pumpkins. Wow, stupid pumpkin seeds out of my way. Let's be honest, pumpkins aren't super useful. Can they be composted? They can. I should probably just maintain my stock, though. Redstone, sand, cobble, spare planks to make sticks with, the 1 spare vegetal. So no matter how you look at it, I'm gonna need a double chest for dyes and trees and all kinds of other nonsense. So I may need the heartbound chest here. 5 basalt, 3 calcite. And a red dye. And that will make a double chest in a 1 block space. Pardon me, stuff. And I can use this to hold all of my color and tree products. In the ground. And that'll become important later-ish. I have so much dirt. Way too much dirt. That's not going to help. This kind of will. What I'm looking for is just a way to visualize every color once. And get some kind of order out of it. Just so I can visualize what I have and what I don't. There. That should work. That is an arrangement of dyes in no particular order. I can work with that. So we'll use dyes as placeholders where we don't have the trees yet. White, orange, magenta, light blue, yellow, lime, pink, gray, light gray, cyan. Okay. Lime, pink, gray, light gray, cyan, purple, blue, brown, green, red, black. And that'll kind of be the arrangement. So we have white, blank, magenta, blank, yellow, blue under magenta, red diagonally down from that. Orange needs to be mixed. Light blue needs to be mixed. Can I anvil? I'm not seeing the anvil up here. So I guess I can't anvil lapis into blue. There's light blue. Lime involves cactus. Pink is just red and more white. I should just make a ton more white. I'm gonna need it. We've got pink. Gray and light gray I don't really care about just yet. Cyan is a cactus thing. Purple. Purple requires more red. More red is going to require more poppies. I also need more dye that I'm giving myself credit for. Because it's 12 to make a pair of trees, not just 6. But hey, progress is being made. Pink follows lime. Can I get red dye from beetroots? Was that a thing? Well, let's check. Tulip, rosebush, beetroot. I can item crush only beetroot? That can't be right. But what do you know? Beetroot now has a use. Orange comes from torch flowers or mixing or orange tulips. Cyan. Pitcher plant. Never seen one of those. Purple is exclusively mixed. Brown. Cocoa beans. Green. Cacti. Which can be smashed. Nice. Can be black at some point. We have spare cactuses. We have 2 spare cactus to smash. That's not enough. I don't see anything else in here that's... I mean, there's the cocoa beans, but what I'm going to do with brown just yet. Well, a clear answer to that right now is harvesting. Down go these dye items. And we'll also throw down more of these. Everybody's getting crushed today. Except that trader. I wouldn't mind Anvil crushing the trader. He's so useless. So now I have brown, which is right after blue. Brown is ready. More red is ready, which I did so I could make purple. I already checked if I could anvil this and I can't. We're making purple trees. Top off the powders. Can't see how the cactus is doing. I mean, it's cactusing. It'll be a bit before we can harvest more cactus. Alright, on pain of death, what do you have? Light blue dye. Podzo. Sea pickles for 2 emeralds each. You have failed. We're wiping the guy out. He had nothing to offer us. Now we have purple trees. Purple comes before blue. Once I get the full gamut of trees, that's when we will start planting. So we're still missing lime, which is cactus, the grays, which are basically no damn good. I can get light gray from oxeye and from bluet, so we can crush those out. Cyan involves cactus. Brown I can't do a thing with, so it's black. Black is the only dye I'm still missing and doesn't require cactus. Right? Yeah, lime is green, which is cactus. Then there's the grays, which are black and white. Cyan is cactus. Green is cactus. So we're all being held back by the cactus machine now. With that in mind, I need to step away for just a minute. So we'll hit T and let the cows moo and the cactus grow while I step away. Be back shortly. And placid background mooing aside, we're back and ready to see if our cactus have progressed enough. But first, these garbage flowers can get anviled down to gray. Not that we can use gray yet, but it can go in our growing color palette chest. Just 2 spaces after pink. I also need to collect black, so it is time to bully the squid. I couldn't tell what I was looking at for a moment. Turned out it was a zombie in gold pants. I hear zombies trying to get to me. They're going to become drowned if I let them. Back to squid hunting. I honestly would not mind a squid farm or an easier way to get black ink, but I'm not really familiar with how to do that easily. No, come on, I just saw more squid in this direction. Where'd they go? They said it's all fish now. Got more vegetal ready to collect from those grayed out trees. So we have ink sacs now, which go into the obvious, and I guess also can't be anviled. I can anvil wither roses. I can get wither roses somehow. Right, so just as placeholders, we have regular gray and then black at the end. And now I just need to harvest whatever cacti we have. Some are 3 high, a lot are 2 high. That should be enough. I also don't need the breeding flowers in here anymore. But I think that's really all I can quickly grab. Alright, let's make some green. Everything goes down the hole. And then we smash it. Anvil smashing is probably one of the funniest crafting methods in any Minecraft mod, rivaled only by yet another instance of anvil smashing, unique to, I want to say, Pam's Harvest Craft, where you could anvil a cow into a jar to get a milk generator. It was very entertaining. So now we have green. Green gives us lime. And green, of course. But also cyan with blue. And I think those are the chief colors that we're missing. So let's tree those up and get a bizarre wooden rainbow. My spare powder box is looking kind of anemic. Now with yellow I have lime. We have green, which goes to the left of red. And cyan, which comes after the grays. So this is everything that we can make right now. We can't do the grayscales, and we can't do brown yet. So what does the book have to say? Nothing. Not yet, anyway. I'm going to want a second orange, light blue, and pink. So we can plant one of everything and have spares left over. There are also some colors that I'm going to need just vast amounts of. But I don't remember which ones those are, so I'm not going to worry about them just yet. What I am worried about is where I'm going to put all these trees. Dyes are going in here. This is not ideal in the slightest. But I don't have two more entire rows of chests to work with here. I'm gonna grab these as placeholders, just so I understand what's going on. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 colors of tree. I've got a zone. I just need it to be more flat than it is. Let's grab some stairs and work on that. I don't have any stairs. I have some cobbled deep slate that I can make into stairs. And then deep slate tiles that I could crush back into cobbled deep slate. Honestly, that's not a bad idea. If this isn't enough force, I don't know what is. It's not like I counted the depth. 0.57. And we drop all the way down to 13. And we only cracked the tiles. So I guess we've got to hit him again. Now it's all cobbled. I can turn this deep slate cobbled mess into nice polished stairs. Out here in this field is where I will make my arboretum. Unfortunately, it is nap time. I don't want to have to deal with doing this in the dark and getting fights. Especially considering how few saplings I'm carrying and how valuable they are. I have more cracked deep slate. The anvil must not have crushed the entire stack. Well, let's fix that and a few other problems while we're at it. I hope I picked up everything. considering my inventory is unceremoniously full. Copper deep slate, citrine, the anvil. Let's just dive down and check. Make sure there's nothing else to pick up. Yeah, there's nothing. No loss for making sure. How are these tanks still not empty? Questions for later. So, how are we going to arrange these trees? Hello, Creeper. I'm not going to trust you to stay over there. We're also going to fight him the safe way. Because he's too close. There's so much garbage over here. Why are there so many monsters in my slime tree line? Just get lost. And don't blow my trees up. More of them. Sheesh. I was not expecting a hunt. I just want to plant some trees. I'm questioning in what arrangement I should plant them. It's 16, so that's 8 times 2. It's also, what, 4x4? I'm thinking 4x4. We'll plant them in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th space. And this is 2 spaces for leaves to grow and 2 spaces for leaves to grow. They always grow the same width. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th space. And we need to clean this out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5th space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's going to be one of the gray ones. Which is going to need its area built out with more dirt. Fortunately, I have plenty of that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, the other gray one. I'll just leave it there for now. And we can move our inventory up. And dump all these, since those are accounted for. Move these up. Don't need the stairs. We do need dirt. Dirt by the stack. So after the second gray one comes cyan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is where we start to run into problems. We have an oak tree and a hole. Oak tree, done. Hole, that's a nasty hole, actually. Isn't this the back end of my base hole that I blocked off? Well, now this unpleasantly shaped chasm can be completely blocked in with the ton of surplus dirt that we have. Which, as is so often the case, will suddenly turn out to be yet not enough dirt. How much further to go? Oh, a few more layers. A few more layers yet. This would be much easier with a Spectrum device that I've never built or tested, just on the assumption that it does what it says it does. I don't know if I have access to it yet. I'm kind of sitting on the book, so I could just, check. We're already most of the way done with this fill operation, so why burn the time? One, two, three, I'm gonna need another row. But it looks like I might actually have allocated enough dirt to this project. Which surprises me as much as anyone else. I knew I'd be falling in this hole eventually. Okay. Moving on with tree stuff. After cyan comes purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is enough free walking space, so I don't have to worry about tripping into the water. And then we come over here to the last rank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green. The grass is getting obnoxious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black. And this needs some clearing. Which will also recoup some of the dirt we burned on the project. All this grass just has to go. We have another weird hole. This might be the back of the base hole. I think it is. I think it's either that or it's a hole we chased monsters down into. I'm going to leave the rest of this hole alone, but it can have this gravel block. Ah, we have our first volunteer. The orange log has grown. Clover, apple. To properly deal with our first volunteer, we're going to need the slime steel axe and the scythe, and I don't know why I named the material, but here we are regardless. Also, let me test something silly. Okay. In a previous playthrough, for some reason I couldn't access a bed empty-handed. Never did figure out why that was, but it's apparently no longer the case. So now we have our solar-powered magnetic scythe to wreck these, and I hope it works. It does. This is everything I wanted in this tool. And we'll leave the stump as a marker. Actually, I don't have to do that. Hello, top of the base. Fancy seeing you here. We'll do that instead. I have orange logs and orange pigment. This is the next step, and this is actually the step that is most irritating in this mod. The only real way to farm pigment is to do so by hand with a fortune tool. It's honestly a bit of a pain. Especially since the tree leaves that drop the pigment don't like to drop saplings. Like, pretty much at all. There's a way to force them to do so, but that's way off in Never Never Land, basically. That is post-end, that's end game level. It's gonna be a while before we get there. So now for orange, we have logs and pigment. For pink, we have logs and pigment. Let's grab some bone meal and get ourselves the rest. Another volunteer. We have cyan. Why am I suddenly flat? Also, where are my cyan logs? I haven't cut them yet. That's why I'm suddenly flat. Another tree has happened. Say hello to lime. So this is the part of the mod and the playthrough where I'm going to have more logs than I know what to do with. And they're all going to be wacky colors. The colored wood isn't particularly special, mostly, but does do a few unique things that we'll need to keep in mind. Fortunately, no individual colors of colored wood are important for any reason. It's just the fact of colored wood in general. I tried to reach that block before it decayed. Instead, I was laughed at. Oh, give me that one too. It's up on the log. Surely you can now see how inventory space and management can be a bit of a problem with this mod. And hey, we have a new blue sapling. Nice. I'll be putting that right on the blue space. There's the purple. And we need to cut down these two as well. I thought I heard something. That's it for inventory space for now. I've got 3 more trees to harvest. Our quest to assemble all the pigments. So cyan and lime, light blue, regular blue, purple, and magenta. Flowers, dirt, seeds. We're running out of daylight, so I should make these next 3 quick. As if. I'm liking this side. This is so much easier and more effective than using a hoe or Hephaestus daggers. And there. Now that we have every pigment that we can currently make a tree for, we've gotten the achievement Brown is Weird, which is necessary for progression and will allow us to move on toward the darker colors. Yellow, red, green. Just in time for sunset. I wouldn't mind some lights embedded in the ground there either. Maybe the shroom lights would accomplish that. And then I'd have less monsters in my forest. We've got green, and red, and yellow. And that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors left that we can't do a thing about yet. Let's see what the solutions are. We've crossed everything off our list here, at least that we can. And there are write-ups for the representation of every color. None of these are important, ever. You just don't have to memorize those pretty much. We now have access to the Fusion Shrine, which is another important crafting altar used to create a whole bunch of interesting stuff. It kind of looks like a giant bowl. And for semi-secret reasons, it's also important to have a lot of energy or a lot of space around the structure also blocked off. I mean, creating an onyx shard. To create brown, you need a way to darken orange. So by mixing all 3 colors, maybe we can create black. We also need to worry about moon phases. La 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 la. So that's all we get. We need to build the fusion shrine to get more information. So let's get ready for this. 4, 2, and then yellow, purple, blue, yellow, purple, blue. We're gonna need more topaz. This is not good. We also need daylight so we can go back to building. And perhaps most important of all, we need somewhere to place this new shrine. Maybe here. This is a nice open area. Or back here? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Hit it. I also want these logs. These trees over here will mock me no longer. I also stand to gain free pigment from those color trees over there. A thought for later. Fish. If you're gonna come this close to shore, I'm gonna go fishing. And you will give me more black dye. Remember, always harass the local wildlife at every opportunity. Minecraft is, as always, a game about capitalistic exploitation of your surroundings. Everything is yours. The trees, the fish, the earth itself. It's not evil or immoral if you're the only being that exists. I don't mean that in a solipsistic kind of way. I mean there's literally no other being anywhere on the map. So we've got our fusion shrine. The fusion shrine requires a structure. 4 gemstone blocks, 4 chiseled, 8 pillar. You know, I think I'll just make this one white. I'll go ahead and use all the polished calcite, as much as I don't like the stuff intrinsically. Now is a good time for a white structure. 12 slabs. We'll keep going up from the top down. We have the shrine, we have the gemstone. 4 chiseled, 8 pillar. This is why I don't use white very much. Because the chisel with the moon on it, I just don't like it. 12 slabs, and then just polish blocks. I mean, it's 77 polished blocks. That is not a small number. And we'll bring some basalt along for a splash of dark color in this mess of white. Kind of like the calcite ring that I put here. Where is this going to be built? Well, it's 9 by 9. So it needs a little bit of room to stretch. It also needs to be kind of nearby because I'll be using it a lot. I think this will do. I'll just plunk it down right here. And it needs room. It needs a lot of room. As before, I'll dig out the border spaces and then turn off the preview so we can dig out the interior spaces and be able to see. Novel concept, I know. Whoever thinks about visibility when designing a building blueprint system. Alright, back on. Polished calcite under the fusion shrine should turn it white. Maybe that doesn't happen yet. Place most of the slabs. Place our moon blocks in the corners. Which means this has to be a ring of white at a bare minimum. Otherwise it just won't look good. And I can put the contrast at this next rank back. But first we're going to put the polished calcite under the pillars. We'll never see it there, but there's more of the white blocks than of the dark blocks, so whenever I need to use filler blocks, I always use calcite. I've got a polished basalt ring, just for that bit of color contrast. The pillars. The gemstone blocks. And cap it off with the slabs. I don't know why the fusion shrine is still black. Shouldn't it be white? Like the book said it could be white. It's white if it's made exclusively with calcite. If the crafting recipe is going to mock me, then I'm going to make the black work. Get some torches on it. And then the last step. Oh, this goes a lot deeper than I thought. The last step will be to make a bit of a boundary area, made mostly of cobblestone, or some other pointless block that isn't dirt. And there's a reason for this that I intend to keep a little bit secret. Stone, diorite, andesite could work. I have enough of that. Andesite just polishes, which is fine. I happen to like polished andesite. What we're going to do here oops, I knew I was going to do that. Hi? Don't show up if you plan to stay alive. Anyway, as I was saying, what I plan to do here is cut a space that's kind of 2 blocks away from this mess, while also having a 1 block deep hole. This is another one of those things that will come clear later. Right now, it's just a really weird design choice. I want to do something similar in the corner spaces. Just gonna have these tiny holes everywhere. Why? Don't ask questions. My genius and foresight will be revealed when it's important. Right now, things are just gonna look kinda weird over these mysterious holes. any of you know how Minecraft fluids operate, that's a hint. Alrighty then. The fusion shrine is constructed and ready. Let's go inside and see what insights the book offers about it. After we put away all our project materials. I like polished andesite, but it's a processed rock, so it goes up here. Okay. Give us the fusion shrine secrets. I can change the weather with sunflowers, or with mermaid's gems to make it rain. Interesting. Here we go. Now that we've built the shrine, it takes all 3 shards and a bucket of lava in the fusion shrine. And it has to be midnight on a new moon for this to activate. So there are 2 things we need. Midnight on a full moon, first of all. And second, a much bigger collection of shards. It's the shard collection that's going to be tougher, because you can't get shards out of these blocks. So I need to go find more. I have plenty of polished amethyst, and I can certainly harvest a ton more basically anytime I want, because they're just right down here. Somewhere down here-ish. It's one of these side tunnels. Not that one. That's not one. I think it's this one. Yeah. Here's our nice purple geode. Look at all the fully grown clusters ripe for harvesting. I don't know how I broke that block. The only trick in harvesting these, as I probably shouldn't have to tell anyone, is not to get too overzealous and accidentally break the budding blocks. Because if you break the budding amethyst, then you lose that block's ability to produce crystals. And the budding amethyst can't be touched or moved by any known means. I love having the magnetic trait on tools. It saves so much effort going around picking up the pieces of what you've mined. Oh, I've overflowed all the stacks I preset. Well, that's a good supply of amethyst, isn't it? I can't exactly reach up there. Not without getting destructive. You win, high altitude shards. You win. But I can also take more regular blocks to expose more budding faces. And these regular blocks can also be smashed later to produce more purple dust. Pickaxe's real durability is starting to dip, but 700 is still fine. That's still far more than a copper or iron tool, I think. So we'll just push through it. I mean, I only have 112 ore slime capacity on this thing, and that lasts long enough, so surely 700 true durability is plenty of time to work with. Curse you, calcite. Stop being so abundant. I want more basalt. But no, it's calcite by the ton. Oh well. Guess I'll have to deal with it. And away we go. I never put stairs here. Bit of an oversight. But now we have an absolute ton of amethyst shards. Yep, that's a good number. Some more amethyst blocks to smash. Next up, topaz and citrine. And I'm reminded of something else that I used to have in my backpack that we lost when it got voided in yesterday's accident. I had a slime steel repair kit. So let me just quickly square that. There. Now I have that at the ready. Let's use some of our slime steel stock to get this thing fixed up. That'll do. And I think we've established that I can't yet. Actually, lava will do. The alloying, unfortunately, goes over 1000 degrees, which is what's necessary for which is what's necessary to make the alloy. 1000 degrees is the temperature limit of lava. So all of these higher tier alloys are simply off limits. Also, there's got to be another book. What am I missing book-wise? Soul Steel. How does Soul Steel happen? Is that even a thing? I get Soul Steel from Molten Soul Steel, and I get Molten Soul Steel from Soul Steel, and that's all we get. There's no alloying entry to tell us how to actually make Soul Steel. So I guess I won't worry about it. Book. This is the book we're missing. Which is made from nether grout. Gravel, soul something, magma cream. Let's make that book, because I think that's the last entry. Soul swale. Leather. Sugarcane. Blaze powder and slime ball makes magma cream. And a gravel. So we get the book. We get the magma cream. We get the nether grout. We make the book. And the book tells us all about the foundry, and also tier 4 materials. And finally, technically, it tells us about blazing blood, which I already knew about. So the foundry is weird, and I don't like it. First we get the alloyer, which is a blazing blood fueled machine that uses tanks of metal to create alloys. I hate it. I can already make alloys in my foundry, it's not called a foundry, my smelter, perfectly well. Why would I want to make a machine that can make alloys when my existing meltery over here already does that? Casting. The thing is, the foundry blocks cannot cast into empty areas. You need a platform and bars that count as empty casting blocks. So this is another restriction that the foundry has that the smelter doesn't. It says the foundry gives you byproducts. Again, we've already seen a little bit of that, and I don't care. Because what the smeltery gives us is more, it semi-multiplies the ore. The byproducts mean that the ore, instead of the bonus of the same gives us the bonus of something else. And I would rather have more cobalt than have my bonus cobalt be bonus iron instead. Also, the foundry must have corners and edges, so I can't save corner space like I can with the smeltery. So it's just worse in every respect. And it's also made from scorched blocks, which cost magma cream, which cost blaze powder, which costs hunting blazes, so it's just not worth it in any way, shape, or form. But this is the big deal. Blazing blood can go up to 1200 degrees, which is how we get the higher tier alloys and things. Lava just isn't hot enough. If you were that nerd Melvin, you'd drink fire resistance, use a piggy backpack to carry the blaze. Perfect if you want to burn to death. And this is the solution that we were working on in the Nether already. Building a smeltery on site that melts the blazes right in their own home. I suppose you could do it with the inferior smeltery instead of a foundry, but why would you want to do that? I do. The smeltery is cheaper and easier. Your foundry is just bad and you should feel bad. Also, you can sever its head off and melt the head of the blaze. Melting is a fun trait. Unfortunately, it destroys the mob's drops. But what melting does is it has an inbuilt fluid tank, and mobs that you attack fill that fluid tank depending on what the mob is. And different mobs give you different fluids, so you kind of key the tool to that specific mob type the first time you attack a mob. It's a bit of a pain, especially, and it requires you to have a lot more tanks on hand. Apparently, Piglin Barter can also get you blazing blood lanterns. And our final secret is plate armor made of cobalt. This is a lot of cobalt. And then we get into tier 4 materials, like the Queen Slime that I keep mentioning. It has the same Overslime trait that Slime Steel does, but also has Overlord, which takes some of the tool's durability and turns it into more Overslime. It also, I suppose, has a higher harvest tier. But the attack damage is lower than Slime Steel. I think Slime Steel is a 2.5. And handles good on durability, but you lose a little bit of everything else. Which doesn't matter, because in order to make the best use of Overslime, you need some slime wood in there, because only slime wood regenerates Overslime. You've got Hepatizen over here. Don't ask me how to pronounce it properly. I couldn't tell you. It's made with... I think it uses netherite as part of its composition. The momentum property isn't that great, but hey, 2.5 damage and 8 mining speed at netherite tier. That's not bad. Manuland, the most damaging material in the mod, at 3.5. And as you continue to chain hit, you do more and more damage. It also has incredible durability, truly incredible handle stats. I mean, a 25% damage boost for handle material is unheard of. The problem is that Ardite no longer exists. Manulin used to be an alloy of cobalt and a second nether metal called Ardite. Ardite no longer exists. Now we need ancient debris to pull this off. Then we have Blazing Bone, which is a weird material. It's cast from blazing blood on witherbone parts, and it does more damage when you are on fire. If you are immune to fire, this doesn't trigger. So, not a great material. Ancient Hide from molten debris on leather. Is that what you want to get a fortune level? Burning ancient debris like that? Doesn't sound good to me. Then Purple Slime Vine teleports the holder to mind blocks or killed entities. When would that ever be a good idea? We have the same material stats when they're used for ranged weapons, and that's the end of the book. So I now have a single block of nether grout, which I don't plan to ever use. And what are we doing now? Well, we're about out of armor. That's not good. Right, I still need more gems. Where was our topaz? Over a kilometer away. Where is it? Citrine southwest. Topaz. Southeast, over hill, over water mostly. I think I'm gonna want a boat. We'll just boat all the way around and come down here. Jungle boat. It's also kind of late in the day to be planning a boat trip. But what you gonna do? I need topaz. And I'm also probably going to need to hang out in the topaz area because it's way too far away and the chunk isn't loaded, so it's not going to have grown while I'm not in the area. I'm also just going to happily pick flowers while we're out. Because having access to more dye is just going to be a good thing. We can also, perhaps, keep a weather eye out for colorful tree clusters. You know, as long as we're out and about. What's that? Probably just normal ground over there. Now, was that a mermaid's pearl? Yes. Mermaid's pearl sitting on the wall. ×2. I also kind of spotted a color tree. That's a weird looking tree. I'm just getting confused and distracted. Because this ball-headed tree over here looks unusual, especially for the biome. This can't be a regular oak, it looks too weird. Turns out, yes it is. And that's my blue tree back home, so... Despite planning on boating the whole way, we've actually lost time by wandering around stupidly and getting confused. That's okay. We have a color tree here, a color tree somewhere over there I saw. Oh. We knew this was here. This mine shaft is not new information. I just forgot. We also need more levels of fortune on things. Which was ender pearls and gold carrots. Strangely enough, we don't have any carrots. Did I just get a sap? I got a regular oak sapling. Yeah, that is a huge problem I have with this mod. If you let a spectrum tree's leaves decay normally, then the drops you get from it are as though it were an ordinary oak tree. This is another one of those security measures that we mentioned yesterday that prevents you from getting access to resources before you should know that they exist. Because it's the same old tree, it's just disguised. So if colored leaves could decay into pigment before you knew that colored leaves existed, then you, as an early game Spectrum player before you know anything about colored trees, could harvest colored trees for their wood, let the leaves decay, and then pigment would happen. And you'd be like, holy crap, what is this? Where did it come from? What do I do with it? Which is the desired reaction. But you're not supposed to have that reaction until you unlock knowledge of the stuff. This is just all magenta and yellow. Normally clusters like this are every tree of a different color, but apparently not today. And to beam these skeletons too, there's too many of them. Miss me. smash the absolute crap out of you with giant axe. It's not intended as a weapon. Like axes, it loses double durability by attacking. But that damage value is 11.5. Excuse me. I am busy. There goes my helmet. There's still more crap in the area. Like this guy jockeying for position. Get lost. We're now in the unenviable position of having our inventory completely choked. More stuff wants to add to my load. All while I am trying to harvest funky trees. More pigments, colored wood, more problems. We are practically no closer to that topaz, which I still need to find inventory space for. Still, all the colored tree products are definitely worth it. That's the, it was an earth slime geode, I believe. Oh, we got a witch here. What do you have, my friend? Poison, of course. That's just how the witches do. They give you poison first, and then when you're low, that's when they throw damage. Let's seek shelter. Do some healing, transfer some things over, not the flowers. There doesn't seem to be much in my inventory that I'm not guaranteed to get tons more of. The topaz is getting closer though, so there's that. And it's nearly dawn. Well, for some values of nearly. Testament to the irritation of unloaded chunks. The last time we were in this village was days ago, and the crops haven't grown in the slightest since then. Out of my way. Everybody out of my way. What's also irritating is that none of these crops are carrots. I need carrots to complete my farmland, but there aren't any. Is that a normal tree or is that a green? It's a color cluster. All I saw was this tree at first, and it looked normal enough from a distance. Turns out, no. It's very bright and colorful. I would like to climb. We'll get onto the tree. Spider, get lost. Dead. I don't really need all these colored logs, but I'll probably find some reason to kick myself if I just leave them lying around. What I definitely don't need is the acacia saplings. Those can just hopefully despawn. And we need to get back on the water to finish the journey to this topaz. That's two mermaids things down there. And we have, turbulence from magma blocks under the surface. Crying obsidian, still important. For very, very long-term plans. That will also require tons of space, tons of indoor space. More of these. Yeah, that's just how Spectrum works. You begin the game playing vanilla Minecraft. If you're lucky, you will occasionally encounter things you don't understand. And then once you come to understand them, suddenly they're everywhere. That's just how it works. I don't make the rules. Get this Earth Slime Island here. It's got green slime and slimy grass. I don't want that leaf block. Or this fern. But more green slime is always good. one day I will actually complete the mission that we set out to do. Look at this cliff. I am not getting inland. I'm not getting inland with that giant cliff in the way. So up we go, and I have just forgotten... I forgot my slime boots. You know, if I brought my slime boots and the slime sling, then this hill would be no problem. But I forgot it, as I always do. Let's grab some pink. I think these are pink. I'm jumping topics very haphazardly. Because I'm just seeing things that are neat and useful, and that's a hole. Have the dirt block. More colored trees, and that's our target. What a hole. Yikes. All we do is not go in the hole. Here's our topaz geode. Nothing is grown. I am totally unsurprised. So we'll have to hang around in the area, keep this thing loaded for a bit. A few color trees will keep us busy for a while. Uh-oh. Oh, we're full again. Never takes long, does it? It seems like everything for this cluster of color trees. We have no need of these saplings. And now all I can really do in here is wait. Wait for buds to turn into clusters. Not a good time. And there is absolutely nothing else I can do about it. Our amethyst geode back home is perfectly happy to provide shards because we live in the area. We keep that area loaded. This one, though, is so far away that, like the village's crops we passed through, there's just no chance that any of this will be loaded and be able to grow while we're gone. technically, there are two solutions to this. One of them is provided by the Spectrum mod itself, but that's a later problem. Or it's something we can't make yet. Which means I am stuck here dealing with the problem. On the problem's own terms. The other option is a mod I specifically installed for this problem, and similar problems like it, but have forgotten about until now. So while hanging out in the area and waiting for budding crystals to grow, let us contemplate the magic of chunk loaders. A single loader is made from a basic. Basic is, well, that's an ender pearl, which explains why I haven't made any. Basic loads a 3x3, advanced loads a 5x5, which is an upgraded basic with nether materials. And ultimate, which can do 7x7, is more expensive still and upgraded from the previous tier. So the problem, as always, is ender pearls. And you get ender pearls from ender pearls. And nothing else. I mean, I could melt an enderman, but I'd have to be able to prevent him from teleporting. I guess the end crystal is kind of remarkable. If you like glass, and you want one slime ball worth of ender, which is equivalent to an ender pearl, then, well, that's why. So that's no good. So I need to be hunting more endermen. Probably in the nether in the warped forest. Maybe I could cut down more warped fungus, make a 2-block high hiding place, and engage them there. Make a farm out of it, kind of. But I'm just stuck hanging out here, because to my knowledge there is no way to accelerate the growth process. And now there are monsters outside looking for the entrance. You found it. Good job, buddy. Here's your prize. Here's your prize. More zombies coming. One more dumbass award coming up. And At least this is doing well for letting my tools regenerate. Only a topaz geode is so big you can get an entire 3x3 when there's no budding. And just crash right on through it. Now my inventory is well and truly pretty much full. And I still need to harvest clusters. And there still aren't any clusters. Much to my irritation. I will, however, have plenty of gem blocks to crush back home to turn into topaz powder. So that, at least, is a good thing. But, yeah, just look at how much of this geode is pretty much completely useless to me. The answer, at least in this immediate moment, is all of it. This is the closest of all. And the locals won't leave us be. I hear a creeper. Having a creeper destroy this thing is kind of worst case scenario. Alright, so way deep in here where it's breached. I'm cooking up some doors. Because this thing needs its entrance secured. So stop getting solicitors. I'm not buying any death today, I'm only selling it. Now I have 3 garbage blocks that I don't need. This can go back in here. And we are still waiting on crystals. And I just collected the garbage blocks. There. Now that's no longer an issue. Will one of you please grow into a cluster? This is such a dreadful waste of time, and there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, now that I've got some doors up, I guess I could AFK, but that wouldn't be fair to any viewers. Still, what else am I going to do besides walk aimlessly in circles? Hope the growth takes. With this one, at least become a cluster. It's the furthest one along. But no, all I can really say is that we have more young buds than we did when I came in here. All I can really do is wait, and I hate it. At least I get all this as consolation. The longer this takes, the more blue blocks I take home to smash later. Okay. Should have seen that coming. Maybe we can get on top here and harvest some more basalt. This way I can at least be happy about time wasted. Pickaxe in the offhand will give me its magnetic trait, and oh look, a friend. Have a hammer to the face. Have another one. We don't want your green creepy kind here. Just bear in mind, the more I do this, the more my inventory fills up. I still don't have a single topaz shard. It is terrible. And there's also nothing else in my backpack that I can quick stack to create. I can get rid of this. I don't need that at all. Now I have access to one more space. Well, basalt collection is going well. We're now in the calcite layer, and I hate it. So I'm just going to dodge the calcite, ignoring most of it, and smash more basalt. Because we like basalt. Any luck? No. Nothing in here has changed. And there's really not much I can do about it. Oh, look. More topaz. I've made a skylight that is not useful in any way. Maybe there is some mad hope of exposing more budding blocks up here. But again, that doesn't solve my problem, which is that none of the blocks are grown. What I will do, though, is close up this hole. I went to all the trouble of putting doors on this geode. I'm not going to have monsters falling in from the ceiling. Nope, individual buds are growing larger, but none of them are reaching the final stage. So I guess, given what time it is, that's going to be basically it for the stream for now. My best course of action is probably to kill it here and then sit AFK in this geode until more gem happens. And spare all of you, however many of you there may or may not be, the agonizing and riveting nothing of just hanging out here and hoping time passes. So, with that in mind, I will see you next time.